First things first is you got to practice proper safety. So always, always, always start off with a gallon of water. People get out there, they make campfires, they don't know what they're doing. Next thing you know, national forest has been burnt down. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and assume that your campsite has pine trees. So what you're going to need to start off with is you're going to want 2 grocery sacks. And one of them, you're going to want to fill it up with pine needles. And the other one, you're going to want to fill it up with pine cones. And then obviously you're going to need something to start your fire with. Go to the store, buy a big lighter. It costs $1. If you can't afford a big lighter, you can probably find one walking down the road where someone's throwing one out. Don't go caveman with it. Don't sit there and try to rub 2 sticks together. It's going to take forever, and it's really going to make your campsite just not fun. Find them on the side of the road, pick them up, flick them. If they work, I keep them. If they don't, take to the nearest trash can, dump them. And then you're going to obviously want logs. And finally, you're going to want twigs. So, twigs, we're talking tree branch type little twigs. Okay, so if you already find a pre-existing campfire, that's excellent. Hopefully it'll have stones running around it. You may find some old burnt logs. You're going to find a bunch of ash. If you do find a pre-existing campfire, take those burnt logs out, set them aside, clear all that ash out of your way. With my video, that's what I have, is I found where someone else has been camping. I found cell phones in it. I found a couple other things in it. Get all that stuff out. Get all that garbage out. You don't want it. It's bad. If you're going to be cooking or not cooking, doesn't matter. You do not want to set plastic on fire. No, I mean, you sit there and breathe off fumes, you're pretty much giving yourself lung cancer. Get that stuff out. It is not an ignition source. Get it out. Setting up your campfire, you can do a layer of pine needles on the bottom. If you have charcoal logs that have been pre-burnt, all it is a giant chunk of charcoal. Layer those on top of your pine needles. Then set another layer of pine needles on top of that. So you're going to have a sandwich of pine needles, charcoal bricks, pine needles on top of that. Set pine cones on top of that, more pine needles, more pine cones, a little bit more pine needles on top of that. So you're going to have a mound of burnable material. The pine needles and the pine cones, it's going to help keep it aerated, and it's dry, it's ignitable. The pine needles, quick to ignite, very fast to burn out. Pine cones, not as quick to ignite, but they stay burning a little bit longer. Then you're going to have twigs, just random little twigs that you have, set that on top of this mound. So now you have your sandwich of needles, pine cones, charcoal briquettes, and logs, all created, done teepee. Thing looks amazing. If it was a cheeseburger, you'd be tearing it up. But it's going to be substantial. Now, of your little teepee sandwich, you're going to notice 3 open areas, and the layer that is right above your charcoal, that layer, set it on fire. All 3 openings. Once those pine needles catch on fire, the entire stack bursts into flames. You have a fire like that. Now, what happens is those pine needles ignite quickly and efficiently, but that will actually warm up the entire stack and get the pine cones burning. Now, the pine cones are going to sit there and sustain your fire, and as that's burning, it's going to actually warm up your logs and get them caught on fire. Now, as that starts to burn, you'll notice the inside is actually burning up, and so you have 3 logs on fire that are just kind of sitting there. You're going to want to get a poker stick and take and readjust your logs to actually kind of get the thing laying flat, so that way it's pretty good for you to go ahead and cook with. Now, once you're done for the day, take your logs, take a poker stick, take your logs, pull them to the outer edge of your fire. Then take the water that you have, gallon of water, and douse it. Absolutely douse it. Drench it, soak it, do whatever you gotta do. Steam's gonna come pouring up, be safe, steam's hot. But you don't want any embers surviving. Douse the water, get your poker stick, start it around, you can have a little mud pie down there. That's gonna make sure that when you go to bed and you're sleeping at night, you don't set the entire national forest on fire and go to jail for the rest of your life. Congratulations, play safe. And this is Greg Allen, and you've been watching the Gray Alien Project, Survival Tactics. Thank you. Hey, you, subscribe to my channel. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that your campsite has pine trees. So what you're going to do is you need to start off get. Okay, I'm going to assume that your campsite has pine trees. So what you're going to do is start off by getting a spider is on camera. That's creepy. Back evil.